Salute, dilute, dilute. It's your boy Majai Vernon, aka Mr. Money Man, aka I do real estate, aka I'm an entrepreneur. Man, here at the office, man, still plugging away, still at it, still trying to get it in. Um, as the clock tick tock, man, and we progress on through uh, the halfway point of the first uh, quarter of the year. Um, Man, it's got a lot going on right now. You know, think I got one, two, finished the rehab at the beginning of the year. Um, Started two other rehabs, so we got two projects currently going. Actually, I finished two projects right around the end of the year, beginning of the year. Got several houses on the market. Um, and and got several houses on the market, man. This is my little boy right here. So as you can see, properties owned. We currently own every last one of those properties. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 properties in inventory. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Four is actually on the market. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. Damn, that's crazy. Four is actually on the market. So got, what did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 properties, four on the market. Seven are either occupied. We actually have two facing eviction. And actually, man, I don't even have one property. Man, it's crazy how conversations just turn, but I don't even have a property. I bought a property back in July of last year. Barry. It's not even on the board, man, and that just shows you. And I'm gonna color it in black, man. I kind of like to coordinate, boom, like the reds are still, in rehab phase or in the rehab stage. I got the greens, which is, boom, we trying to cash them out, and black, like black is just. I bought this property, man. I bought it from a wholesaler, title company I never used before, and I literally, the time we went to change the locks, the police was called on us, and we've just been going through this whole. So I filed a claim on the title policy, everything like that. But I've literally haven't even. I've been in this property one time, and when the police came out, he was actually let me come in and take pictures just for my own records. The property. Uh, so I've been just fighting a battle with this particular property here. I did do a hard money loan on it. So as you can figure, um, I'm making payments on that every month with the hopes of getting this property. But I didn't even include that one on the list. So I'm pretty sure I got a couple other property that I'm not even thinking about. That's bad, not good. But like I said, it's just my board to kind of keep a good visual in my actual database on my computer. I do have those, uh, but got three other properties. Uh, One was actually closed this month, the Irma, which we already started the rehab. But then I'm working a three property, and it started out as a three property. Then I agreed to buy five of them, and then I took it back down to three when we initially executed on the contract. So I'm working a double lot purchase. I got two lots package side by side purchasing. I got a three property package purchasing, and I got another lot that I'm purchasing. So that's one, two, three, four, five other properties that will be hitting the pipeline hopefully before the end of the month. Um, so man, I mean, for the most part, you would say like, damn, that's good. But one thing about rehabbing or the real estate business, you really have to understand is um, the transitions, like classifying what it is that you want to do. Um, and most know, like, okay, you got wholesaling, you got rehabbing, um, and you have all the other things, the rentals. But what comes with it is, the wholesaling, it's a daily grind. So that in itself, you'll get burnt out. I mean, unless you're looking to scale it and grow it and just really, have a monster business doing that. Uh, and with rehabbing, it takes a lot of capital because you especially if you have multiple you know properties at the same time, you'll run through your funds pretty quick. And then with the rentals, you also got to have um, nice liquidity or nice capital in order to actually buy them and hold them uh, to where they will provide enough cash flow. I mean, and we can go into the technical side of it, saying, hey, structuring, um, creative finance, and this and that, but that's not the basis of what I'm talking about. I mean, we can get into all those type of details. I'm just strictly, showing where um, you have to be a, kind of. I heard Max Maxwell saying that a chameleon, and he was referring to it as a chameleon, which are your conversations and things like that. But I'm referring to it more so in your business. Being able to adapt and change. How you need to change in order to keep your business afloat and sustain yourself. And what comes with uh, the got four properties, got 11 in total, a little more than 11. I mean, I have some more stuff not on the board that I didn't mention. So some of them are rehabs, some of them are just tenant occupied, some of them are haven't even started on them. Some of them are in litigation. So what happens is just building up that pipeline of okay. Um, I got a wholesale deal that's going to pump out 20 grand this month. I got three of those, and I'm just speaking in general. Like, okay, I got three of those. And that's going to keep you moving into one of your rehabs. Fund and close, and you probably got five or six rehabs going. Well, my plan is to constantly have things in the works, constantly having them in the works. And I do that with partnerships, JVs. I don't typically JV on rehabs. I co JV, co wholesale, or something like that. But with the rehabs, I either just take on one of my partnerships or do it myself. So, um, but you want to have um, multiples going, multiples. And for me, that's what I tend to do. Have one after the other. So it'll be a constant, you know. And eventually, man, the plan is to, scale it up to something that's a lot bigger. Keep turning it, keep turning it, keep turning it, and eventually, boom, you'll pop off the big deal. And I tend to like right now, and I mean, it's just been a transition, man, for my business. Started out wholesaling, grew that to being kind of an acquisition. Uh, Kind of got me a little more knowledge and training in other fields of real estate. Did a whole lot of owner finance, built portfolios in that aspect, and it kind of just helped transition me to stepping out on my own and truly um, doing things on my own terms, you know. So for me, the bigger picture is, eventually just, more. I'm looking to get the cash flow. So, that's the end play, building as much cash flow as possible. Kind of didn't think about it in the early stage, or I probably would have had a nice portfolio by now. But that's my focus now. As you starting out in the business, you go so long without having to check if you jump out there the way I did. Um, Boom, full fledged. No job, no nothing, no income. I'm full real estate, and you fall on your face, and just going through that will, you know, when those checks start coming in, man, you trying to play catch up. You trying to catch up to all the bills you done missed. You gotta car payments, or even if you wanna, you need to upgrade your vehicle, your situations, or whatever. So, a lot of times you're not even really thinking about cash flow, and different people starting in different positions. So uh, that in itself can it can be a struggle, man. So, I initially, to do as many deals as I've done, I never was focusing on cash flow. Created notes, sold notes, those type of things, but everything was for the flip, and um, it was never just a long term investment strategy. Long term to me was, boom, flipping, 100 houses a year, you know, and just straight profits. So now as you evolve, you build different relationships. You know, our goals change, and and for those, I mean, hey, yeah, you can just jump out and we'll spend the same amount of time. You know, you do real estate. Single family transitioning over to multifamily, and that is the plan. That is the plan, to build a dynamic um, multifamily um, portfolio, apartment complexes, maybe even some office buildings and things like that. But what happens is, you get so many of these projects going to where, you do get cash drought. So those are the different things that come with the business. That what comes with the the evolution of your progression. So don't take it as long as you're moving and not stagnant. There's always progression. You should be okay. But I will say it times do get tough. I mean, you question, you doubt, you get stuck, and I just believe that's part of the cycle, man. The part of the cycle of an entrepreneur is, the doubt, the uncertainty, the long nights, the time away from family, and then it's also the highs that come with it. Boom, you close 4 deals straight, where you have a nice payday, 100 grand, 70 grand, 60 grand paydays, and you're like, okay, you know, and then you can go 2 months without uh, a sale, So just understand, as long as there's progression, you still, and when I say, you know, it's just different stages, man. And I think you just never know uh, which angle, or which direction you're going. Uh, Especially if you're looking at what someone else is doing, man. Put your blinders on. Put your blinders on. Close it off, man, because everybody has a lane. Tell my people that all the time, man. I'm not focusing about nobody lane. I might use you for inspiration, because I see that it can be done, and someone who's like me, looks like me, thinks, you know, maybe have the same economic background as me, upbringing, uh, has done it, but don't get focused on what the next man is doing. And I tend to stay in my lane. stay in my lane, focus on my targets, and try to achieve them. And hopefully at the end of the day, man, we come up, at above. And if not, we're gonna be down so fighting hard to get there. We ain't gonna miss them by much. So uh, just felt like, man, it's been a minute, man. Some things happened in my personal life to where I kind of took a quick little break, but I will be posting more. I will get back to my, you know, videos of updating y'all on the rehab, showing you the rehab process, things like that, man. Um, I don't have no specific uh, thing I try to do with these videos, man. I just solely do them, man, to show you that it can be done. It can be done from someone who didn't have who dropped out of high school, no college background, none of that, and we can still get out here and chase our dreams and be successful doing it. I've helped many, countless people do the same thing I'm doing, um, and I definitely put a lot of money in a lot of people's bank account, from title company attorneys to contractors. Uh, you know, got contractors who making six figures a year. So don't think it can't be you, man. Uh, Not in my wildest dreams would I think that. And I did. I mean, I can't say that, man, because I've always had high ambitions and dreams of being an entrepreneur, creating things, and watching things blossom. Just a hustler's mentality, hustler's ambition, has always been there. So, but this is something that has truly gave me a different insight on life, opened doors, rubbed elbows with people um, who can truly help you progress. Uh, and in the words of Zig Ziglar, I believe so. Help enough people get the things they want, you will ultimately achieve the things that you want. So I believe that wholeheartedly, man. Anytime I engage into a business relationship, I'm looking at. I've probably already done my homework before I've already engaged with you. So that I don't really just do business with a whole lot of people, but 9 times out of 10, if it's somebody I'm seeking to make a proposition, I've done my homework. I know what you do. I know how you move. I know the ins and out, what you're looking for, how you sell, how you buy, and so I'm already looking to add value where you might already see it as I'm set. So go out and figure out how you can add value to somebody. I'll say that shit to the to the sun go down, man. Find a way. If you don't have it monetarily, go out and find a way to create it. Create that value for someone else, and in turn, it will come back. It will come back. No doubt about it. So, man, it's I don't know what time it is. Probably like 8, 9 o'clock. Uh, and I ain't make it to the office at 8. Hell no. I went out, checked a couple of houses. Raining this morning. I think I made it to the office. It's pretty early. Well, still pretty early. I started driving breakfast. I think I made it about 10:30. Um, Put it down to be 12 hours by the time I leave. So, um, but maybe that's not good. And this is just how your mind play on you. Like in those hours, man, what you get done. Um, Had one of my partners stop through. So, uh, all that's irrelevant, man. I just want y'all to look. Know it's possible. Know you can do it. Believe in yourself. Become unreasonable. Get it done. Beast mode all day. Quickest way to $1 million in equity, $1 million in net worth, $20,000, $50,000 houses. Mm. How do you switch it up, man? How do you like this? This is just how the mind works, man. It's so many hustles, there's so many games, so many ways to get out here and create. How can I have $1 million network? Okay. Well, this is what I did for my told myself. Okay. Now, how likely is it that I can go out, so with no background, no nothing? I mean, understand the business, understand everything like that. And let's just say I'm starting over from scratch. Boom, just filed bankruptcy. I have $0 in the bank. How can I go out and create value? Okay. You still got a skill set. I mean, if you file bankruptcy, obviously you was doing something to generate income, things like that. So obviously you have some type of skill set. You was in some position to where you obtained something and you was on the brink of losing it. So you figured that this was the way to uh, to rid yourself of those expenses or liabilities for the moment. So okay. So you use that skill set, and in this particular case, we're just going to use real estate. I know the real estate fields in and out. I know how to buy a house. I know how to flip house. I know how to rehab houses. Da 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 da. I've helped this person, whether I was an agent, so on and so forth. Okay. And I took my position, the areas that I was comfortable in, to use as a stepping stone to break down. You don't eat an elephant in one bite. You take it in chunks. So I took my experiences and made them reality, knowing my numbers, know your numbers. So I said, okay, $1 million. And that's small. I've done several $1 million in transactions in a couple months. Um, how do, so I like hood houses. I like hood houses. Started there, grew up there, roamed them streets every day. I'm like, okay, hood houses. In order for me to have $1 million network, let's just say I gotta go out and I gotta get that five $200,000 houses. Now, if I'm fresh out of bankruptcy, it might be a little bit hard for me to just jump out there and get somebody to is that attainable? Yeah, five $200,000 houses. That's a median price range. You know, nice size neighborhoods, nice size houses. So yeah, that's doable. Might take me, but payment wise, thing like that, da 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 da. Uh, that's $100,000 houses. Okay, that's a little bit more in line. I took it down to the houses that I was comfortable. I know that either way it go, I can't lose, whether it's selling, financing, and so on and so forth. Let me find 20, $50,000 houses. 20, $50,000 houses. Okay. Now, in the areas I grew up in, how hard would that be? In the neighborhoods where I'm known to wholesale or flip houses, buy houses, I was buying, in one particular time, I was buying all the houses that nobody would touch. We're talking 2012, 13, 14, 15, right before the market took back off, 2015, literally buying every house that other investors were scared of. And most of these houses were priced below that 50, $60,000 price point, 75 and below. That was my bread and butter. And actually, when I first got into real estate, it probably took me, and this is just mindset, man, not knowing, not being educated enough. I've been to enough seminars and trainings and things to understand uh, not to have a scarcity mindset. Is more, it just doesn't develop. That's a muscle that has to be trained and worked, and you have to instill those things into your subconscious. And it took me literally probably from the time I got started in real estate, and I mean first year 50, 30, 40, 30 houses or so, next year maybe 40. It literally took me maybe um, two, three, maybe 3, 4 years, man, before I actually decided to go over $100,000 price point. And when I did, I celebrated like shit because I knew I have achieved something that was stopping me from moving forward. It literally took me 3, maybe 4 years. I can't remember the exact year. I remember the house. Um, can't remember the year. Uh, but that was just a limited mindset, man. So, yeah. So, and these 50,000, these type of houses, how easy is it for me? Now, I will say, when I was putting together these numbers and things like that, um, it was at a time where now we're in a market where everybody is buying these type of houses. So to accumulate 20 of these type of properties has become a little bit more challenging than it would be, say, just 2 years ago. Uh, so, um, but just to kind of, that's just, a stepping platform of what I put out there as a goal, whether we say it was a goal or whatever. And this was just for a specific company and a specific entity. How can I create $1 million network for this particular, my holding company? So boom, did the numbers, but where I was going is, man, it's amazing how uh, the creativity of how you can create value. So, let me get back to this point. So when I did that, it was like, well, okay, I was looking at creating value. Now, in a couple of my business transaction partnerships, it was like, doing all this research, figuring out what these type of people invest in, so on and so forth, and packaging up a proposition to where it's a win-win. Hands off, fund it, I do it, rehab it, boom. Nice partnership. You bring nothing to the table. I got all the experience, and you bring nothing but money to the table. 100%. So these are just some of the things where a person with no value can't bring those type of propositions to the table. And it started off as a JV type of situation, and then it blossomed into something where, okay, now you get 100% financing for all your properties, no out of pocket expenses, no payments until property sale. Like, these are things that you have to work toward getting. And it's cool, don't get me wrong. A lot of people say, well, hey, man, I built my stuff up from the ground, no debt, no this, no that. Cool, I salute you. I salute you. I'm just telling you some of the methods that I've put in place, that I've built, and hey, last time I checked, there was a book for every endeavor that was actually, that was put out there. Different versions at that. So more than one way to skin a cat. At the end of the day, as long as we all eat. So I'm just telling you mine. Might not be the best, but I'm pretty sure it works for me. It works for somebody else. So just looking to add value, man, and just knowing the mind is whenever you have something that you believe in wholeheartedly and you want to achieve. I mean, and from a good position, not a screw over people, not a take advantage of the situation, but from a true, and I mean, even in those instances, I mean, you can say the same thing in those instances, man. People do it all the time, take advantage of people and things like that. Um, but when you when you explore, and you give yourself the opportunity to dream, create, visualize, then man, you just know that anything is possible. Anything is possible. And that, my friends, is really what it is to be an entrepreneur, to have to go through the ups and downs. And I think Nipsey had it best with, it's a marathon, man. It's a marathon. You know, you can probably beat me in the 100s, you know. And I think even Will Smith has it, you know, you will not outwork me. You will not outwork me. And I think that's the mindset that you got to have when it comes to chasing your dream. You know, uh, in business, man, you look at the all the people you admire. You know, look at them, and when you just heard the stories of a Kobe or LeBron or MJ or anybody in that, you know, in the great fields, man, these people were, you know, the level of commitment, just the level of commitment alone lets you know, yeah, if you want to live this life, if you want to be in this circle, like we don't do nothing regularly. We don't do nothing that the average person uh, thinks about. Everything is different. You know, I look at every situation different. I view every, you know, person different, you know, and that's just the joy of striving to be great, man. But, you know, we're just talking about some real estate right now, man. I mean, so all that, you know, other stuff is really not called for, but I'm just letting you know, man, just the mindset you got to be in, man. Uh, and just know the level of dedication, you know, time away from family and just everything. Like, damn, you on the phone, you making videos, man, get your ass home and go be with your family. This is my meditation, man. You know, this is my meditation or my wind down, and uh, whether it's a rant or whatever it may be, you know, hopefully it inspires somebody to believe that it's possible, man. Look to add value and just know it's possible, man. Get out there and do it. Do it. Be true to it. Do it. And at the end of the day, believe in yourself. I'm going to be great one way or another. But for right now, man, I'm going to let y'all have it. It's your boy, Majai Vernon, aka Mr. Money Man, aka I do real estate, aka I'm an entrepreneur. Letting y'all know, man. Get out there and make it happen. Peace.